So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Mercury in the 7th house of your Dashamsha chart. As in, what happens when Mercury, Buddha, is in the 7th house of your D10 Dashamsha chart, which is one of the most important charts in Vedic astrology, which shows the obligation to society, your career, and how things are, paid off to society. That's the Dashamsha. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, along with all your astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Magha Vedic Astrology Academy, where if you were to join any of the courses, it helps me fund the next movie of Saturn, Walking with Saturn. So please do. So anyway, let's start with Mercury in the 7th house of your Dashamsha. So, what is the 7th house of Dashamsha? It represents business. It represents business partnerships. It represents partnerships at work. It represents the aim of the success in your life. Why? Because 7th house is 10th from the 10th house. So, it's known as the Bhavat Bhavam of the 10th house. So, it becomes very important. And if you know, just by reading, like, for example, Bharat Jataka, one of the classics of Vedic astrology. I believe it's even in Phal Dipika, but mainly I've seen it in Bharat Jataka, where the significance of the 10th house in the birth chart has been given to Saturn as well as Mercury. Okay? So, here Mercury, because it's in Dashamsha and it represents our work and status, because without Mercury we can't work. Even a normal manual work we can do because it represents our spinal nervous system. So here one thing you will see that this person always wants to engage in partnerships. For them, through partnerships they know they will succeed. Why? Because Mercury is our intelligence. Wherever Mercury is, it kind of drives you towards that area of life. So you will see with Mercury in the 7th house, obviously if a person is doing business, it's obvious. But if a person is in a job scenario, they're in IT, technology, any particular area of work, they want a companion to share the success with. They want a companion to share ideas with, intelligence with. And this is how this Mercury finds its success, because Mercury looks at the ascendant of the Dashamsha. So it actually becomes a very important part of how the success comes in. See, if Mercury didn't have the aspect on the ascendant from the 7th house in Dashamsha, maybe I wouldn't say that. But Mercury is here now, impacts that particular scenario. And also, socializing. This person would be a social butterfly in terms of their career. Even if a person does not have anything to do with their department, doesn't have anything to do with the work that they're doing, they're always wanting to connect with someone else. They're curious about career. They're curious about, so when, let's say somebody is an IT individual, they're doing like software testing, okay? This is the person who actually will also want to make friends and, kind of pick the brains of somebody who's doing, let's say, cybersecurity. Somebody who's dealing with search engine algorithms, somebody who's dealing with AI. They're curious and they will be very affable in terms of their ability to win somebody's heart. Now, of course, when Saturn or another planet is conjunct, it can completely change the scenario of this Mercury. Then you will see sometimes the opposite working out. Because Mercury will behave like the planets that it's conjunct. So we have to look at that very carefully too. But here by itself, Mercury does very well in terms of giving gains, promotions, new job offers through connections, through network circles. And especially in the type of work this person would want to pick is a place where they can communicate. Where communication becomes the key. This is where, and especially communication in front of a lot of people. So for example, here I am as an astrologer who actually does not want to deal with the world. I am happy here alone in my cabin in the middle of the woods and far, far away from people, friends, family. Okay. And this is the person that is actually going to be the opposite. So if, let's say, they're an astrologer, they're going to be like, I don't want to do these readings over Zoom or over audio. I want to meet people in person, and I want to actually do all these conferences. I want to meet people in person, and then I want to do my work. So you see how it can have those opposite reaction no matter what the career is. You can have a lawyer who only wants to be just in their own office, deal with their work, go to court, deal with the depositions, come back, maybe not wanting to socialize. This is the person, okay, my deposition is done, and I know my other 3 lawyer friends from another law firm that I made friends with, they're actually going to this restaurant, so I'm going to meet them. Why? Because they're curious. What kind of law are you doing? How is your law compared to my law? Wow, that's fascinating. Like, this person will never be critical of their networks. They are actually natural salesmen. They want to gather information, win people's heart, so they gain success through it. Yes, if Mercury is, like, let's say in Pisces, yeah, they can confuse their way into, they may make a blunder early in age and try to make network circles, try to make connections with people. So we have to look at those particular subtle things. Okay? But otherwise, it's a great placement for Mercury. Okay? So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Mercury in the 7th house of your Dashamsha chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Mercury is placed along with all your astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, I will see you later.